Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Monday morning boost from THRIVE-20, your Monday morning power up. Come on in, dance with us. Let's get grooving. Let's get working up for the week. And we'll be talking about some really cool small business support tips today. I'm talking about what you do when you're low, down, sick, or out. We've got some great strategies for you. So join us, dance it off, and then we'll be live with you. I feel it growing stronger every day. I never just believe in what I see, 'cause I can feel the energy. Shout it out in the comments. Cause I can feel the energy. I've met my demons one too many times. They taught me lows are what makes you feel so high. No matter how far my mind would wander, I'd always dare it to go even farther. Cause I got it. Join us for your Monday morning beats from THRIVE-20. Yeah, I got all that it takes to win and overcome. What I got is just a feeling, but it's all so strong. It goes on and on and on. There's something going on inside of me. I feel it growing stronger every day. I never just believe in what I see, 'cause I can feel the energy. I can feel it. I can feel it. 'Cause I can feel the energy. Monday morning boost power up with THRIVE-20. Go ahead and dance with us. And here in just a minute, we're going to be coming inside. I believe it, yeah. There's something going on inside of me. I feel it growing stronger every day. I never just believe in what I see, 'cause I can feel the energy. I can feel it. I feel it. 'Cause I can feel the energy. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This is THRIVE-20. And we are talking about small business tips and tricks today with our boost, our THRIVE-20 boost. It's your Monday morning wake up, power up, and we'll be coming to you every Monday morning right here at 8 o'clock our time Pacific. And so we want you to join us, jump in, groove with us, get that body, that mind, that energy flowing, and then stick around with us as we give you some small business tips and tricks. We are just really talking about how to support small businesses. So we are THRIVE-20. If you don't know who we are, we're committed to making small businesses thrive in 2020, 2021, and beyond. We're making it easy for communities to support small business, and we're making it really simple for small businesses to get the word out about what they're doing. So that's who we are and what we're doing. We've got big goals for this year. We want to get the THRIVE-20 app into every household in America. I know, big goal, oh my gosh. And we want to really see all the small businesses in local communities know about THRIVE-20 and start using our app to get into the hands of the communities where they are. So we are looking to be the solution for small businesses here in the decade of 2020. So thanks for joining me. Jump on in. All right, I got to catch my breath after all that grooving and dancing. How about you? I hope you've joined us. And we're going to be talking today about something that I think is a really big deal for small business owners. You know, what do you do when you're sick, down and out? maybe you're just frustrated or overwhelmed, or something's going on at home, or you've just got personal stuff kind of infringing in on your small business productivity. I think it's a really big issue for small businesses because we're not corporate America, and we're not able to just take a sick day and be paid anyway, and our businesses don't stop, or somebody else doesn't pick up the slack if we take a day off. So let's jump in. We're going to talk about some strategies that will help you as a small business owner really embrace this idea that we can push through those downs and outs, okay? All right, so what I'm asking you to do is listen today, and then no matter when you watch this video, if it's today or a month from now or 3 years from now, go ahead and drop in the comments the things you struggle with, what you tried from this video, and how it worked out for you. We would really like to see a conversation started. So here's what I'm gonna start with is there's a lot of conversation around this issue for small businesses, and there's a lot of strategies out there that have been put out there to really help us push through. And in my mind, those three strategies kind of, filter into one of two categories. It's either the push through it, haul, you'll get through it, don't worry about it, or it's the be really kind to yourself, give yourself some ability to just be who you are, be where you're at. It's a kindness. Just embrace it, allow it, and you'll get back to business. And I find those two strategies both really good. I've tried both of them as a small business owner, but I find both of them lacking. And so we're going to present you with a third option today, and it's not unknown. It's not the first time it's been talked about, but we're going to kind of present it in a way that maybe you can wrap your head around it a little better. So feel free to share this video if it helps you out with another small business owner, or tag them in the comments, even better. Okay, so the first strategy, the push through it. Let's talk about that for a minute, because that mentality is great at times. I mean, super effective. Because sometimes we all need to just push through it, whether we're feeling crappy or we're having a bad day or we've got a deadline and we don't know how to meet it. Sometimes we do just need to hunker down and push through, and there's a total reality to that. But the flip side is that presents some challenges because, like I said, we're not corporate America. We don't have somebody picking up the slack. We don't have sick days. We don't have that leadway when life infringes on our small business. And especially for those of you who are sole proprietors or people that, don't have a staff, a crew, it becomes really hard, right? You could push through it only so far, and then life meets you head on, and then what do you do? So the other end of the spectrum is let's be kind to yourself. There's an immense amount of validity to that. And I hope you as a small business owner can hear that and be aware of that and really embrace that when you need to, because it is really important for us to say no to things we can't embrace. It's really important to give ourselves some slack and really embrace the fact that we do have limitations. It's really, really important for us to rest, take a step back from our hat as a small business owner and allow ourselves to really, take care of ourselves. Yoga, good eating, time outside, balance with home and life and family. And those are important things. So I hope that you can hear that message as a small business owner, because it's really valid. But the problem with that approach is that it takes all of our hard work and kind of lets it go, and it just kind of drops out from under us. And then trying to get the momentum back up when we come back in, sometimes we're refreshed and we're renewed and we're ready to hit it. But then it kind of fizzles out because our brain does this funny thing that says, no, we were resting. Let's go back to resting. Let's go back to going and playing outside. Let's go back to family. And so it's kind of that neurological protect, thing that we don't want to get back into it. So if you've ever experienced that, shout it out in the comments and let's get this conversation flowing. But I know I have. I say, okay, I'm going to drop everything. I'm going to go kayaking today. And I go, and then the next day I'm like, all right, I wake up all, renewed and excited and ready to go. And then, okay, my brain says, let's go kayaking, And so it's really kind of hard to get back into that. So here's what I'm presenting to you. And it comes from a very dear person in my life who has been harping on me and trying to coach me into find the middle. Thank you, Coach Mario. Find the middle. And so that is the strategy I'm going to present to you today is let's try to take that extreme and bring it into the middle and really kind of guide ourselves in that corridor. Okay. We can't be successful if we're not in that corridor, if we're not along the path we need to be. And those extremes don't allow us to find that corridor, that middle ground. And I think a lot of times we think, well, if we're not doing it big or we're not, committing all in, or we're not just dropping everything and allowing ourselves some freedom or some leadway, then we're not doing it right. I know I am guilty of that. Me. I don't know if you are, but shout it out in the comments if you are. But I know I am. And I am striving really hard to find the middle. And so I want to share this strategy with you because I think it could be really, really, really helpful for a lot of small business owners out there. So what does finding the middle look like? Okay, so we know it's not all in, power through, and we know it's not just stop and take care of yourself. So what is it? What it is allowing yourselves when you're sick, or your family needs you, or you're just frustrated and overwhelmed and you're not really sure how to take the next step. It's allowing yourself to say, not right now, to commitments. It's allowing yourself to say, I'm going to pick the 3 things that are most important today, and I'm going to just focus on those, and then I'm going to stop. I'm not going to keep checking emails. I'm not going to keep going. I'm just going to stop as soon as I achieve those 3 things that I need to do today. And maybe it's just 1 thing. It doesn't have to be 3 things, but it's allowing yourself boundaries. It's allowing yourself to sit down and say, okay, here's my world, right, of being a small business owner. But here's my world of being a person, and here's my world of being a family member, and here's my world of being, whatever it is you like to do, a camper or a traveler, or maybe you like to go to the beach, whatever it is you like to do. But they're all encompassed as a small business owner in the same bubble. So what I want you to do is even sit down and draw that bubble. If you've got a bubble and it encompasses all of those things, can you narrow it down? Because this whole bubble here is your life, right? It's all of the things you are. Well, section it out and as I am, but these are the things that make me me. These are the things that make me a family member. These are the things that make me a friend. And these are the things that make me a small business owner. And that little pocket right there in the center, that is you as a small business owner. And it has boundaries. It has the ability to say, this is where I start and stop. It's your time clock, okay? It's your ability to say, here are the parts of me that I'm going to commit to my small business. And anything outside that time clock, that boundary, I'm going to clock out and I'm going to leave it at work. And it's hard because our work is at home, right? But we can give ourselves time limits. We can give ourselves, structured boundaries that allow us to say, okay, I'm done with work for today. I'm going home. And even if that home means you're stepping out from your office desk in your home into your family kitchen and saying, okay, I'm done. I'm not checking emails anymore. I'm not going to take phone calls anymore today. Not right now. Okay. And I want that to be a phrase that really becomes close to your heart, because we think, oh my gosh, my business will fail, or I won't get a customer, or I'll lose that deal if I say not right now. But I think in our brains, we think that means no, but it doesn't. It means not right now. This is my time for me. And we can't do anything for anybody else or be a productive person or business owner if we're constantly saying yes, because then we're tapped out. Yes, you know it. You've experienced it. We're tapped out. We have nothing to give. We're exhausted. We're drained. And so, what can you give, even if you're making a product? Let's say you make soaps for a living. Well, that soap isn't infused with you anymore. It's just a duty. And that duty, it doesn't inspire. So, whatever it is, you have to learn to set those boundaries, meet the middle. Okay. Come back to the middle. Don't do extremes. Come back to the middle. Set those boundaries. Set that time clock for yourself. So here's my goal for you this week is to draw yourself, that bubble and figure out, where are your boundaries? Where's your time clock? When are you going to start and stop saying not right now? And it is okay. If you have to set an auto response on your email, if you have to put a voicemail and say, hey, it's 8:00 and I am spending time with family, and sorry, I'm done for today, but I will get back to you tomorrow. People understand that. I give them a little credit. And as long as you follow up the next day and do your thing on your time clock, then they will be totally thrilled. And I have experienced this in my business, and I get all nervous and, oh no, but if I don't call them back tonight, they're going to go to somebody else. Just breathe, okay? The right customers who fit you and your needs will come and will be attracted to you because they're right for you. And if you lose out on somebody, we have to, as small business owners, start to embrace the idea that they weren't meant for us. And that customer was not your right now customer. Maybe they will be in the future, maybe not. But those people who match what you need to be serving will come to you. And you have to start to get that in your head and believe it. Because as soon as you start believing it, that's when the attraction starts working. But as long as you're questioning it, and as long as you're not setting those boundaries, you are going to continue to attract people to you and business to you that you don't actually want, that doesn't help you thrive, that doesn't make you feel good. And do we want that? I don't think we want that. So let's start the conversation of finding the middle. Let's start setting our boundaries. Let's start picking the 3 most important things to us for the day, or the 1 most important thing for us today, and then stopping. Let's say not right now. Don't say no, just say not right now. And the last strategy I want to share with you is something that I have just recently embraced. And that is setting yourself up for success through a daily habit. I hate structured habits. I hate them, okay? I am not that person. I'm a fly by the seat of my pants. I am a move on a whim. What do I feel like today? But I recently read this book, and I'll set the link in the in the description, but about a daily habit. And it really opened my eyes because it works. And as much as I want to push against it and say, no, I want to do it my way. I want to just wake up and feel what I should do. This daily habit thing is powerful. And so I'm going to encourage you to lock in and be a part of this movement to set a daily habit. Let me know in the comments what your daily habit looks like. Mine has been an alarm goes off in the morning. I wake up, I set my daily intention. I get up, I take my dog out for a walk. I open up all my windows. I make my tea, and I sit down with my teapot and my teacup, which are kind of a happy space for me. And And then I sit down and I start working, and I work for 3 hours before my family and my busy wakes up. And that 3 hours, it's amazing how productive I am in just that 3 hours, because it's time just for me. Because I've already told my brain, we're going to be working at least 3 hours, and it knows it. So it wakes up and it just goes. And it's pretty amazing because I've had productive times like that, but then I get really frustrated when something at home or in my life or outside of my business infringes on that time I'm trying to work. And that 3 hours is just mine. And my brain knows it, and it knows that nothing's going to interrupt it, and it fires at full speed. And then once that 3 hours is up and my family's up and we're moving, I let it go. And I say, okay, this isn't work time. That's my boundary. That's my time clock. And then if I have a couple hours later in the day where I have another little pocket, and I focus in again, and my brain knows it. And so it can click right into it and then click right out of it when we're done. And it is a wonderful thing. So that daily habit practice, we're going to be talking about a little more in another video, but I want you to start to create a daily habit for yourself. And then we're going to wrap back around to that and talk about it a lot more in another Monday morning power up. So stick with us, come back, find that video. I'll link it as soon as we shoot it here in the description. And the last thing I want to say is kind of an image for your head, okay? Because it's easy to watch these videos and then be like, oh yeah, I'm going to do that. But then we forget about it because we're busy or we're doing our business stuff, and other things take precedence in our mind. So I'm going to give you a picture that hopefully your brain will lock onto and remember and be like, oh yeah, I was supposed to do that. So I am going to challenge you to think like a plant. Forgive my plant analogies. It's just who I am. I love to grow things, but this one works. So I am going to encourage you this week to think like a plant. And what do I mean by that? When a plant gets sick, or the weather's bad, or it doesn't have enough water, or it gets a disease, or it has a challenge in the environment, it doesn't die, okay? It starts to wither, but what it's actually doing is it's saving its energy for what's important. And so this is why I'm going to challenge you to think like a plant, okay? A beautiful, let's talk about like a tomato plant. I mean, any plant will work, but let's talk about a tomato plant. A tomato plant, you know, when it's thriving and it's happy, it's got all these shoots and it's shooting out more shoots and it's lively and its leaves are green and they're big and beautiful and it's producing. And as soon as it gets tapped out or it's having trouble, things start to shrivel up top, right? And it kind of droops over a little bit and you're like, oh my God, my plant's dead. It's not dead. And neither are you. So I want you to think like a plant, because what that plant is thinking, what that plant is doing is it's conserving its energy for what's important. And so it's taking all of the nutrients it can and it's sending it into the stalk, the core of the plant, and into the roots. And it's saying, okay, I'm going to preserve what is important. I'm going to preserve that stem, this root section, because these leaves and this fruit can come or go. But everything else needs to be really solid. And so that's why I'm going to challenge you to think like a plant. When you're overextended, when you're too much, don't die, don't give up, don't be extreme, find the middle and say, I'm going to preserve what's important. I'm going to preserve that root structure and I'm going to preserve my core. And then when I'm stronger and when I'm more capable, I'm going to push out energy into my leaves and into my fruit and into my flowers. And that is when we shine for sure. And people notice for sure. But that doesn't mean that those times that we come back to the center are any less important and any less vital to the plant surviving and being vibrant, right? So if you can't give your energy to all of your flowers and your leaves and your fruit, that's okay. Pull back. Find the middle, find your core, find your root structure, and focus there allow your boundaries, and allow yourself to only focus on the most important things. Say, not right now. And then come back and tell us about it, how it worked. We'd love this conversation to get started. So it doesn't matter whether you see this video now, 3 years from now, 3 months from now, go ahead and let us know how this works for you, what you did to implement it, and ask questions. We want to be engaged with our community here. We are here for you as a small business owner here at THRIVE-20. We want to help you thrive in 2020, 2021, and beyond. And so we ask that you tag a small business owner who you think this will help. And if you want to know more about what we're doing, head over to thrive20.com. And that's our website. It'll tell you all about what we're doing. If you have questions, shout them out. And don't forget to download our app, because if you don't, we can't make you part of the biggest thing to hit small business in decades. All right, dance it off. Have a great week. We're glad you're here. I've been through heartaches, I've been to heaven. I've done my best and my worst, learned my lessons. No matter how hard my life would treat me, I'd always get right back up, never worry. Cause I got a million reasons to keep holding on. Yeah, I got all that it takes.